everyone, Destiny here to talk about vibrato today. On a last video that I did about continuous vibrato on my 100 days of practice, I had a request to do one about beginning vibrato and how I teach my students. So I'm going to show you a little bit about that and then get into a teaser of more advanced tips. So here we go. First things first, put the violin in normal playing position because that's where violinists live. And hopefully you've learned by now to have this really nice, beautiful left hand position in first position, and you've got a little room here, see I can fit my thumb. That's really important. We want to mirror that position when we go up into the higher position. So that might mean that you are actually resting part of your palm on this lower piece of purfling here. I've got a little bit of a longer palm, so that works for me. I try not to work in absolutes when I teach because everyone is shaped so differently. Some people will put the palm of their hand on here. I think that's probably good for shorter fingers. But whatever creates that same first position look, meaning you've got room here. You don't want the scroll to be set all the way in. Okay, first thing I have my students do is wave to themselves. Wave, 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 wave. And they're like, why are you making me wave to myself? And then, oop, here comes a kitty cat. No, okay, let's go back to sleep. See how my thumb is not engaged? It's just I'm waving. I'm just getting that rocking motion, training the wrist to rock. Then I'll have them engage their thumb lightly, ever so lightly. Just have it rest up on the neck. And then I'll still have them wave. My hand is free, not touching anything. And I'm still waving. Wave, wave, wave. Hi, how are you today? You know, if you talk to yourself when you practice, make sure you're nice to yourself. Tip from years of beating myself up when I practice. It's good for your mental health. Okay, next thing I have them do, put all four fingers in between, you can see, the A and the E string, okay? So I've got that. And then we're still just gonna focus on that waving motion with, in mind, going backwards. The backwards motion is key, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that in a minute. You can still go forwards, we're just training the wrist to move back and forth right now. All right, once you've got a good feel for that, move to the A string. Why? I think it just creates a nice arch in the hand. And we're gonna be focusing our second finger first, because it's got a good balance in our hand, around this note E natural that matches your open E string. All right, so once our second finger is lightly pressing, so I don't wanna actually hear a note yet, we're gonna just go back and forth as far as we can, and then gradually narrow this motion down around that E that I just played for you. Okay, I'm still lightly touching. I haven't put any pressure down. All right, so there I am. Once you feel like you can do the rock back and forth, this is when you move on to this step where you narrow it down, the space you're covering, just to this one note. See if you can still rock. Going backwards is really important. Sometimes I'll see students try and do this and take your wrist off the instrument. Don't do that. That's not the motion we're going for. We are going for this waving motion. So here I am over this note. Now, some notes on the violin, as you know, if you lightly press them, they are harmonics and they sound really spooky, like ghosts. That's why I call them ghost notes. So I'm actually going to create that ghost sound right now. I want you to hear it with my bow. So here I am on that E. So if you can get your rocking just back and forth, nice and even, pretty solid, then you can listen. Isn't that cool? I remember when I first got vibrato, my orchestra director, because I didn't have a violin teacher yet, I was like, oh my God, I got vibrato. It's the greatest day of my life. And they were like, yay. And it was cool. It's like the greatest day of your life when you get the wiggle. And it takes time. You've got to be patient with yourself because, man, training the hand to do this, like none of this is normal, but we do it anyways because we love it. Okay, so I've got the harmonic, right? So this is kind of an even rocking, just back and forth, which is really great once you can do it. Eventually, keeping your hand still as relaxed as possible, put a little pressure down, and then you can hear it, right? It's very wobbly right now. I start with these ghost notes because it really keeps the hand relaxed, which is so important. You've got to be relaxed to do a nice vibrato. Okay, here's something a little more advanced. Ding! The way your vibrato sounds. So why was I talking about that backwards motion? Well, In violin pedagogy, Galamian, Flesch, those teachers, they really believed that and taught that you vibrate below the pitch and then up to the pitch. So that's why I have people start out in violin position, just trying to get that wobble this way. Some people will start in cello position, and it's okay, you know, to vibrate forward just to get the motion. I just, you know, it's like easy. Sorry, cellists, you guys have it easy. Ho ho, just kidding. That's not really the backwards motion that we were talking about, right? That's going forwards because of gravity. So that's why I've got you in violin position to start with, going backwards. So here's the pitch, and you'll hear in the vibrato below and up to the pitch. Now, some people have taught that, especially for the lower instruments, you know, to vibrate around the pitch and then the ear hears the center. I mean, there's so many arguments that people get into. The below the pitch and to the pitch, like Galamian and Flesch, they believed that your ear hears the highest of the pitches. Other pedagogues will talk about, the ear hears what the finger dwells on the most. That's really interesting to me because I have, dork alert, taken famous violinists, the old cats like Heifetz and Oistrakh, put them into my video editing software and slowed them down into slow motion, and they in fact do this dwell on the pitch thing. What that means is they're spending the most time of their vibrato on the main pitch, and it creates kind of this elliptical stinger. So if I were to sing it for you, it'd be like yum ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. So you hear that I'm going back to the main pitch and only staying on that low pitch for just a little bit. Whoa, way advanced, I know. But it's never too soon to start working on it in your technique. And here are the benefits of working on it. 1, you need to have a really loose finger joint when you do vibrato on all your fingers. So if you can see here, see how it's nice and arched, right? And then I'm going to push it down, push it down, push it down. And you don't want to go all the way because that's kind of silly. It's like London Bridge is falling down. So what I'll have my students do, put their bow down. You've got this wiggle back and forth, right? I will have them use their other hand and their index finger, and as they go down, I'll have them push that joint down a little bit just to help getting it flexible. And you can even start to practice that stinger. It's like a lazy triplet rhythm. I use strawberry, so strawberry, 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 and I'm pushing my joint. And then what that actually sounds like is strawberry, 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 strawberry. Because think about it. What is actually creating the vibrato? It's your finger pad on the string and the distance that that pad goes, right? So there are lots of different ways people vibrate, especially, you know, the famous artists. They've all got these little wonderful quirks in their technique that they've developed that works for them because everyone is shaped differently. That's why I don't work in absolutes. I say it's really good, though, to learn the beginning pedagogy and master that before trying some of these other unorthodox things. But later in life, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So let's work on mastering the pedagogy. So back to that sound that I was just telling you about. It's cool. And it's really cool when you get it. And I think just practicing it slowly, like the strawberry, 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 eventually gets into your hand and helps create that sound that I was telling you about in the vibrato. So it's cool. So cool. Ah, I love it. I love vibrato. All right. Whoa, I know that's a lot of information. Geez, what are you supposed to do with all that? It's just, you know, it's always good to keep this finger joint relaxed. So eventually if you can do it on your fingers without the help of your other fingers, that's great. It's always backwards collapse, backwards collapse. It's really good just to keep the hand nice and loosey-goosey. So let's do a quick summary of all that. 1, violin position. Make sure you're mirroring a beautiful first position with some space here. Wave to yourself. Everything's nice and free. Then we get our thumb down. We're still waving to ourselves. Then when we put our fingers, all our fingers in between the A and E string, it's okay if the base of your index finger still touches the neck a little bit. Mine's still pretty free. Wave, 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 wave. Just like that, focusing on the backwards motion. Then I go to the A string and I put my 2 down because it forms a good balance for the hand. I just go up and down the A string. Then I eventually, once that's really comfy, find my note, lightly press, and see if I can just, you know, wiggle around it lightly. Then I get on the note with the harmonic and see if I can wiggle just around the harmonic. And then I start to get into the more advanced stuff once I've got that, working on these finger joints collapsing as I do the vibrato, because that's going to help your pad cover more space and create a bigger vibrato. Whew, hopefully all of that was helpful. Some very beginning techniques all the way to advanced to help you out. And, you know, I can do more videos like this later on about the more advanced stuff. Hopefully the beginning stuff goes well for you. Vibrato is really, it's a tough thing, so be patient with yourself and then you'll get it. I know it. Let me know if this helps. Thanks. Bye.